Hey guys, it's Dark Siege, and we're gonna go over talents for Gajah Mada and Gonzo. And when we do this, I'm gonna talk about what I think a base talent build should look like. Like everybody should have this, and then what my skill setup or my talents are, and then I'm gonna go into some alternate builds or talk about the different talents so you know what you want. If it will help you with your build. Okay, so let's look at it. Here is my build. This is what I use. I take engineering all the way up to forbearance, 5 out of 5. Swift maneuvers, 3 out of 3. It's okay. I look at it like this. I'm a siege main. I need my siege to get there. I need them to kick some ass. And if I need a GTFO, it helps, right? That's why I pick that. If you have one march and of siege and the rest of your other field marchers are out there fighting, you don't care when it gets there, then don't put 3 points in it, right? Like it's totally up to you. Your discretion. Here is Ebullient. Now, it does more damage to other siege towers, which I think that's how they should put it. Deals 9% more damage to other siege towers. The arrow tower is just it's a really weird way to word it. I actually thought it was so weird I went out and tested it out. In any event, it comes up under other buffs, and it shows 9% to towers or something like that. I can bring it up if I need to. In any event, when I first started, this was an absolutely useless skill because it was only me. I was the only siege march out there. If I did see another siege march, it was like gathering commanders or you saw YSG in tower mode, right? Like it was totally horrible setup, so I destroyed them anyways. But now, I think like many people can tell, there are a lot of siege out there now. Most people, maybe not most, there's a good amount of people, I think that's fair to say, have at least one siege march. Or if not, they're considering it, or they're starting to make that build now. Because of that, man, I think this is a very important skill to get now. Again, that's me because I feel one of my obligations, responsibility is when I'm out in the field, I want to take out other siege towers to protect my field troops, right? I mean, an argument could be made, oh, if you're just doing more damage on, the field troop and stay out of the way, aren't you accomplishing the same thing? I just feel it's good for the kingdom that I go out and kick other siege marches' asses, right? That's how I feel. And I think they appreciate it. And if my kingdom appreciates it, I'm happy to do it. So for me, those 6 points, I like it. Now, you don't have to do the 3, and you can still, take other siege out without getting ebullient. But I do it. I see it so often now that it's worth it when I'm taking other siege out. Okay? All right. So now let's look at the defense side of the build. Okay? So I go to Master Armorer. If you have I have legendary gear, a lot of it's pimped out, and the way my stats are set up, it's 70 points in like attack, 23 in defense, and like 19 in health. So to me, defense and health, if I can pick it up either through here or in my armaments, I'm happy to do so. So that's why I think Master Armorer is very important, because it gets that defensive numbers up. Okay, now let's look at take a little less damage. Awesome possum, right? Deals a little more counterattack damage. I'm good with that. Gain some attack. Okay, right? What's in here? A little defense. What's this bad boy? A little defense. All right. Come up here, attack, health. Yay, right? And now I'm recovering some slightly wounded. Cool. Let's look at the others, and I think my point will be made by doing so. This commander takes 3% less skill damage of all types. Skill damage isn't the only thing out there now, right? You have some smite, obviously. These are even smite commanders. So it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm more about putting down heat than resisting it, right? Like than mitigating it. So there you go. Even though I have the healing over here, right? I just think it's more natural for this guy to have a healing than it is to do 3% less skill damage over time. But if that's what you wanted, fucking do it, man. Okay. Let's talk about testudo formation. When you are a field march, infantry, calves, archers, this is like, I think, a must, right? A 10% chance to reduce all incoming damage when you max it out, right? 5, 10, 15% for 1 second. I think it's a really good skill for them. For a field march, like for a range march, I don't think so, right? I just don't think that mitigating it is as important as either march speed or taking out other siege towers, right? Like, this is where you make judgment calls, okay? So, okay, here's my setup. And then I had an event build, but I want to reset that, right? So, okay. This here is your basic, everybody should have this. If you think your march is slow, you get swift maneuvers. If all you see out in the field, or a lot of them, or other towers, and you want to take them down and do 9% more damage, then put 3 points into Buoyant, right? Burning Blood, 44. It says 44% of the people have this. I don't know why. When this commander troop is hit with any type of basic attack, it gains 2 extra rage. You shouldn't be getting hit as a siege tower. Now, if you get Burning Blood points for getting counterattack damage, then maybe. But if it is just truly, I get hit and then I get, 2, 4, 6, right, depending on how many you put, I don't think it's a good one because you're not getting attacked as a siege march. And if you are getting attacked as a siege march, you have about 2 seconds and then you are flattened. So I don't think it helps you. So I think you need to rethink your setup if that's what you're using. In the same vein, testudo, again, I just don't think that I'm getting everything out of it that I can on the other side. Takes less damage but deals less damage. I've just never been a fan of that. That's just my personal opinion. But you could, right? So let's look at a different setup, right? So let's say, Dark Siege. I'm in Canyon a lot, and I want to have some mitigating stuff. Cool, right? Like, you can do that and just minus the 3 on swift maneuvers and put over here in spiked armor. Totally good, right? So let's get silly with the build, right? We got here. Let's take it to the max. Can we still get on that side? No. But I can do this, right? And I get 6 more points to play with. And I can go to loose formation, or I can go to balance. And that'd be a totally acceptable build, right? And if you had 2 points left over and you want to put them over in swift maneuvers, cool, right? If you want to get it to 1 point here because it means so much to you, so be it. Like, as long as you got the base that I was talking about, everything else kind of is just like small changes, I think. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Okay, so again, that is what I am now rolling out when I go in the field. Okay, here's Gonzo. Gonzo has a very interesting talent tree. And let's review it. Okay? You can do a lot of different things with Gonzo. And I think on this particular one, you can actually make a difference. Okay, let's go with the base build I talk about. Base build, I believe, is always up to Forbearance. And then again, like I said, if you want more speed or you want take out more towers, la-di-da-da-da, right? You can pick speed, take out other towers. Cool. Let's talk about the damage it does. Okay, let's look at some of the highlight ones. Effortless. I was doing some little bit of math, right? Scary. But I got some education. Got a master's. Yay, look at me. And I'm doing YouTube videos on gaming. Okay. In any event, effortless can really build up your DPS if you're in a long fight. It's a long fight. It will build up your DPS, right? Martial Mastery. This one is kind of like the tortoise, right? It will start off solid, slowly build you up. But once you get to 4 cycles, right? I did some math. If I put points in here up to 3, or points in there up to 3, by 4 cycles, effortless is way better. And what do I mean by cycles is every 10 seconds. Right, 10 seconds is 1 cycle. And then once you get 4 of those in, right, which is a pretty long fight, right? So I'm assuming that you start with 0, and then you get, you can get up to 2.5, right? There's one thing I did want to show you about effortless. First it's 0.5, then it goes to 1, and then the jump is from 1 to 2.5. That's a pretty big jump. And in effortless, again, you get to the 5th cycle, it will do some damage. And the longer you are in that fight, 4 cycles get you to 10 seconds, right? 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Yes. But if you're at, 0.5, it's going to take you forever. If you're at 1% every 10 seconds or every cycle, like I'm calling it, man, it's 100 seconds. It's 1:40 just to get to 10 versus, your 4th cycle, you're there, right? So effortless in long fights is the shit. And I think it's so good that it's worth it to me. Now then the conversation becomes, because, okay, when I was looking at it, let's go back here. It was like a decision. I want my swift maneuvers, right? And let's get to here. Let's get to 2. And let's get to 2. Gives me 1 point left over. And so I was doing some math. Which of the 1 points is better, right? And I accounted for, hey, you got 4% each turn, plus you're moving up at 1%, every cycle, blah 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 blah. And it turns out in a long fight, there's my dog, yeah. In a long fight, effortless is way worth it. But martial mastery is nothing to shake your stick at. It's still good. So if you wanted both, what are you taking away? Your march speed, right? That's how you can get both. And it does some damage, right? It is a bump. It truly is in some math, right? So, again, and then you have 2 points, and you can put those 2 points into swift maneuvers, or let's go for broke. Let's put 1 point and fight to death, right? Because you need 1 point to get there, and you have 2 points left. And you're laying down some heat. You are truly laying down some heat. And so initially I had said, who do you put first? Gajah Mada or Gonzo? And before I leave, this is the build I kind of use, but if I'm being honest, I would probably take a point from Martial Mastery and put it in March Speed. That's probably what I would do, right? Because I do believe in the March Speed. Okay. The bonus of putting my boy Gajah Mada first is for when he procs. This commander does 10% more range damage. And it's for 5 seconds. So the 10% more range damage goes up. Then he comes in, lays the heat. Now, there could be an argument, or there's two arguments. One is, I've heard others say, and I used to have Gonzo as primary for a long time, and he kicked ass. And my rationale was, I will get my AoE off first. And there are often times in fights where I don't get that AoE off because the opponent ran away or died or whatever, right? And I'm losing out on DPS because I did not have Gonzo first. Fair. But now that I'm telling you, like, hey, what do you think about Gonzo? Slow as fuck, right? And, you know, we do the old everything in the DPS world. Does he make up for that 10%? Maybe. If not, it's damn close. And then you get the advantage of AoE up front. But then you're sucking on speed. No joke. Like, you're slow. And so, here's what I'm trying to tell you. Siege is strong. Right? And as long as you have in every build of Siege these 5 right here, you really can't go wrong. You are now manipulating for what you need. Oh, I don't have any speed. Boom. Oh, I want to take out other towers. Boom. Hey, I want some DPS to fucking lay the heat down. Cool. I want more DPS. Cool. And you know what? Just a little bit more. But then you sacrifice things. So here's my final thoughts. If you want Gonzo in front, put Gonzo in front. You want Gajah Mada in front, put Gajah Mada in front. Like, if you're looking for the perfect answer, I don't think anybody really has that right now. If you had Gonzo in front, it's going to lay some heat. You have Gajah Mada in front, it's going to lay some heat. Right? You put 1 extra point in Martial Mastery, or you want that 1 extra point in Swift Maneuvers, like, just do what's comfortable. I love March Speed. I love getting around quicker. That's more important to me than some DPS. Because I feel if I can get there, I can do more DPS. If I don't get caught flat-footed and my ass whooped, I have more troops, more DPS, right? Like, you can kind of justify whatever you want. Just have fun with it, man. Just have fun with it. Don't overthink it. And have some fun. All right, guys. Range rocks. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.